Hey guys, before the video begins, I'd like you to know that I have a Twitter account over at @carthusdojo. Go ahead, follow me, tweet at me, and I'll reply to anything you send my way. Now, video intro. Hello and welcome to another episode of Everything Important. This is the series where I tell you what important things happened in the latest episode of Dragon Ball Super. This week is episode 105, so let's jump into it. At the beginning of the episode, Zeno asks himself how many fighters are left in the tournament. Each Zeno takes a stab at counting until future Zeno simply says, "A lot." This furthers my belief that Zeno is not smart enough to have made the universe grading system, and instead the ratings were the Grand Priest's design. Roshi tells the Universe 4 key weapon user that she is no match for him. This is actually great news for Roshi and Tenshinhan, because they may not be the weakest fighters in the tournament. The other universes didn't all have god-tier fighters. Take Universe 11 as a prime example of that. Though it's not stated anywhere, I really hope a guide comes out that tells us everyone on Team Universe 7 is at least perfect Cell level. While it may feel like it came out of nowhere, if Master Roshi and Tenshinhan were really training for all this time, then it's plausible that they'd at least be perfect Cell level. Either way, it's great to know that characters won't be eliminated strictly because of their raw strength. Roshi reveals to the key weapon user that he has been observing every opponent around to know how they fight and how strong they are. What a smart 300-year-old man. By using the intel he's gathered and by being stealthy, he can determine where, when, and who he should fight. This is a great strategy for someone who is in the bottom half of strength in this tournament. The key weapon user reveals that she has a hidden technique and will use it on Master Roshi. The technique is simply a seduction tactic that seems to be working on Roshi. However, it doesn't last, as Master Roshi overcomes his lust and scares her into jumping off on her own. This shows that the training with Puar is entirely paying off, and wasn't just used to set up a gag later on. Roshi's next opponent is a talisman user. She uses a mix of illusions and attacks to defeat her opponent. This reminds me of all the feints we see in episodes 103 and 104. Basically, the illusions are a feint that can help hide your real attack. There's a lot of strategy going on in this tournament, and it definitely highlights the martial arts movie aspects the series originally derived from. So, once again in Dragon Ball Super, we get to see the Mafuba, but this time, it actually works. Roshi uses it to imprison the talisman user in a bottle and throw the bottle off the arena. What's interesting here is that the Zenos let the knockout count despite the use of the bottle because it was neat. Not because it wasn't a weapon, but simply because the Zenos enjoyed it. This can be foreshadowing for other things that the Zenos will allow because they like it. Master Roshi's next opponent is the Universe 4 spy, who is angry at the loss of his friends at the hands of Roshi. This leads to the spy transforming and attacking Roshi. However, Roshi easily brushes him off. In raw strength, the spy is stronger, but Master Roshi has the rhythm of his movements down, and is able to predict and counter every action the spy makes. Once again, tactics over brute force, which shows that weaker characters can do well against stronger ones. To make sure the community doesn't get it twisted, though, Toei does something great for scaling. While not giving an exact number, we learn that Roshi's prediction ability is only good up until his opponent outclasses him tremendously. After powering up, the Universe 4 spy has too much raw power for Roshi to contend with. This allows us to know that even if Roshi could predict all of, for example, Beerus's moves, he still wouldn't be able to beat him due to raw power difference. Small, but could be important later, Roshi was able to use hypnosis on the Universe 4 spy and actually make him nearly fall asleep. If he hadn't shot himself with a ki blast, it's very likely he would have fallen asleep. Though I'm sure there's an upper limit to this ability, it does show that stronger characters can be affected by hypnosis. Roshi uses a Kamehameha to finish off the Universe 4 spy. However, it is not without cost, as he does collapse after putting everything he had into it. This most likely means Roshi is using Life Force to power up the attack, similar to the way Vegeta blew himself up to try and defeat Buu, or the way the Kikoho works. One of the final scenes in the episode is Goku trying to resuscitate Master Roshi. Touching and tear-jerking as it was, at one point, we see Goku do something that may be the most controversial part of the episode. Goku's Ki Blast glows blue, and Master Roshi is revived shortly after. A lot of people, myself included, are wondering if this is a new ability, or is an extension/use of the healing factor from Super Saiyan God. We'll have to wait and see if we ever get an explanation. And lastly, we are told that there are 34 minutes remaining in the Tournament of Power. Man, it's going by quick, huh? But that's it. Everything important in episode 105. Now, as I do every week, it's time for my ramblings and reviews. I think I could keep this pretty short this time. I really enjoyed this episode. I've said it many times how much I like character moments and developing characters and showing us their personalities and showing us how they would handle certain situations, and it really all culminates in this episode, an episode where Goku is barely in it and Roshi is literally the majority of the episode. It's not even where it's shared time or anything, it's just Roshi the whole episode with a little Goku and a little Krillin as necessary. Episode was really touching too, as Roshi collapses and they think he's dead for good. Something interesting of note is Goku said something about going to Otherworld, but Master Roshi wouldn't go to Otherworld, because apparently Otherworld, or at least the one that he knows, is part of Earth, and all of Heaven is for the Universe 7, and they're outside the universes. So if Roshi died, did he just die for good? Because I'd assume he'd have no way to get back to life, or no place to go to, unless it just literally puts you back at your universe's heaven, which would be weird. So yeah, if Roshi died there, I think they couldn't really have explained it well enough where we would accept that he somehow got back to heaven. Though it could have been good if Roshi died there. It would have been a nice touch. It would have really put stakes on the tournament and how much everyone's willing to put on the line to protect their universe. It could have been something really good, but they chose not to, which is fine. I think it was still immensely touching. Otherwise, Roshi's done, by the way, for this tournament. Similar to the way I think Kale and Caulifla are basically done for this tournament, Roshi's done for this tournament. They're just all three of the people I just mentioned are too battle damaged to even put up half a fight, let alone a whole fight. So, just be prepared to not really see much of that anymore. But yeah, really thought it was a good episode, and I hope you guys did too, because let's be honest, it was Roshi kicking ass, and it was not that poorly animated. It had some weird shots, like of Goku and the Magi guy, but other than that, I mean, it was really well done. I think everyone really knows how to draw Roshi well, which is good, because he has probably the easiest nose to draw, as opposed to those, like, pitfall noses that Yamamuro likes, the pitfall noses. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, but just a good episode, well animated, and next week is gonna be much worse. I can see it in the trailer. It looks awful. That meme that's already come out. It's so bad. Anyway, guys, that's it. I thought the episode was good, but what do you guys think? Leave your opinions and counterpoints in the comments down below, and subscribe if you want more Dragon Ball videos. But for now, video outro!